Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our book club. The name of the book is called The Burning Word by Judith Kunst. And we're working through this as a topic of conversation, but also can be used as a form of meditation and just time where you sit and reflect on the way you view God, the way you view the Bible, the way in which you go into the world and how you experience the world through God's eyes. What we're doing is we're using this book as a way to have these little conversations that don't have to necessarily be so riddled with the Bible verses that many of us have come to know, and rather come out of that mindset into this idea of God wanting to have conversation with us in a very intimate way. One that allows for emotions, one that also allows for us to question and have doubts. So as you're tuning into this video, and I'm glad that you're here, don't feel like you have to go back to the beginning to listen to all of the conversations from this book, but if you are enjoying this conversation that we have today, absolutely do that. But each video is set up as a standalone conversation that you can take and use as you will. All right, so we're in the middle of chapter 3, and I'll start now. Closeness between parents and children is distinctly different from closeness between God and humans. I may have grown up picturing God as a loving father and Jesus as a loving friend, but these images are hard to maintain when ranged against the Bible's frequent and fearsome pictures of God as destroyer, avenger, and punisher, or Jesus as thundering prophet, brash upstart, cryptic naysayer, and ultimate judge. An encounter with God of the Bible, therefore, should not be sought lightly. As Moses knows when he hides his face, as Israel's ancient priests knew when they tied a safety rope around the ankle before entering the inner sanctum of the temple called the Holy of Holies, to come into the presence of the Most High God is to put one's life in peril. The language of the Bible, thankfully, offers us some protection from God's power. Mystical Judaism claims that Torah existed before the creation of the world and describes its script as white fire engraved with black fire. Like the burning bush in the wilderness, the letters on the paper are on fire, but they are not consumed. The more closely we examine that burning bush, the Bible, the more steps we take onto the holy ground where a powerful God waits to speak with us. Biblical language, like the burning bush, can hold the presence of God and not be consumed. We can't look the creator of the universe in the face or we'll die, but we can look at the holy language, not die, and see something of God. The cry of the Israelites has reached me, God says to Moses, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. Moses' story reveals to us that God has his own curiosities and imaginings, and while they are wholly good, they are generally not benign. Moses is not killed outright in his meeting with God, but when he emerges from the encounter, his life is set on a path of risk and responsibility that will take him back to Egypt, back to the desert, and right to the brink, but not into the promised land. Our purpose in reading Holy Scripture is to meet God, meet ourselves, learn how to live. God purposes much more. Let me say that again. Our purpose in reading Holy Scripture is to meet God, meet ourselves, learn how to live. God's purposes for much more. He wants to have us, and through us, redeem the world. We are not used to contemplating an all-knowing God as one who is curious. But it is God who imagines freedom for us all. God, whose faithful curiosity about the future of the world has set the text of the Bible eternally on fire. The amazing journey of Moses and the nation of Israel has for thousands of years inspired all kinds of new journeys toward freedom in the world. When inspired leaders rise up among us and call out new visions of peace and justice, what we hear is really an echo, still resounding, of God's most ancient yearnings. There is a lot to think about in those few paragraphs. I wonder what your purpose is for reading the Bible. Is it as this author is aligned or outlined here, meet God, meet ourselves, learn how to live. I think for many years, that's how I looked at the Bible. If you're familiar with old Bible acronyms, the word Bible, basic instructions before leaving Earth, it really has been treated very much like a instruction manual for how to live, your do's and don'ts. If you do this, don't do that, you'll have a great life. And I think for the most part, you can take it to that level. It can stay there. You could go through life and you might live a fine life. I actually think that's possible. But every once in a while, you turn to the left or to the right, and you see that metaphorical burning bush, whatever it means to you. And you're awakened just a little bit more, where suddenly you understand maybe there is just a little bit more to it. Now, the beauty of grace is that you can notice that and dismiss it. And truly, no harm, no foul. But if you continue to scratch away from as that surface of maybe there's something else, believe me, you'll find there's something else. Something more, something amazing, something that kind of takes your breath away, something that feels like walking on water. It's there for the taking. Here's some thoughts I'd like to leave you with. Consider this from Hebrews 11:40, translated in the Bible translation done by Eugene Peterson. God had a better plan for us, that their faith and our faith would come together to make one completed whole. Their lives of faith not complete apart from ours. Jewish tradition holds that our imaginative grappling with Scripture is the most important way such wholeness can come about. Find the burning words of Isaiah 6:1-8 in a Bible. Read them out loud. Put the Bible down and find your own way to say to God, "Here I am." Consider taking off your shoes. If you can, try doing this exercise with a friend or a group, changing "I am," "Here I am," to "Here we are." Well, I hope that you're enjoying this book. Again, this is from the book entitled The Burning Word by Judith Kunst. Feel free to pick one of them up and read along with us. Truly appreciate you coming by. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. And I'll join you again next time here. Thank you.